Oh, crap!
Before we get back to our main story, I want to tell you about a guy named Peter Dunn, a financial consultant married to an ex-tennis pro. 2 kids, a nice house in Houston. Things were going pretty well for him, on paper.
Oh, geez, I dropped the scissors. Always such a stupid klutz.
Peter started losing his hair in college. He wears a lot of baseball caps in old pictures, but that didn't stop his bald spot from expanding and his hairline from traveling further and further back from his face.
There we go. That's the ticket.
His hair restoration journey began when he stumbled upon the Bald Nation Video Hole channel, months before they redubbed themselves the Hairy Boys.
You know, I don't get to see a lot of you all in person, but you really do feel like family. My bald brothers, struggling together against a hidden matriarchy with their friend zoning and their all-female Ghostbusters remakes.
Oh, great! Now my foot's bleeding. Such a butterfingered dork!
This is Battle of the Bald, Episode 4, The Customer is Always Right. Once Gavin started telling his fan base that Revitalize was the answer to their prayers, Peter was one of the early adopters, and he decided to chronicle his journey on his own Video Hole channel.
Talk about wowzers! Would you just look at that? Revitalize for the win! I look like 70s John Travolta. Yeah. Ah, shit! I'm sorry, guys. Looks like Revitalize doesn't make you any less clumsy.
For a few months, Peter was on top of the world.
My wife can't stop running her hands through my thick, lush hair. And not to get too personal here, but it's certainly turned things up a notch in the bedroom, if you take my meaning.
But then, Peter's journey took a turn for the worse.
I don't know about you guys out there, but lately my hair is like thicker and tangly, and I'm starting to look like Teen Wolf if I don't trim it a couple times a day.
Peter's wife Sharon told the police that he'd been under intense pressure at work, and despite his newfound hair success, he was incredibly stressed out.
Okay, this is like out of control now. Anybody else getting this, puffy eye thing? My neck skin is kind of looser. I've emailed Revitalize a couple times with photos, and they say that none of these side effects could possibly be from their product.
Peter started calling out sick to work, afraid that his appearance would frighten people. Around this time, Sean declared that he was using his authority as the co-owner of Video Hole to remove the Hairy Boys channel. And Peter started spiraling.
You know, when people with all the power like Sean Applewhite start abusing the little guy and nobody can tell him to knock it off, where does that leave us? I mean, what Gavin's saying is right.
On January 29th, 2019, Peter entered Revitalize headquarters through a side entrance with his video camera, a can of gasoline, and a lighter. He intended to force a face-to-face meeting with Sean, where he would demand that Revitalize be pulled from the market and its horrific side effects exposed. Or else.
Okay, guys. I'm inside the building. Nobody around. Pretty nice office, honestly.
Peter knew which floor Sean's office was on from Sean's extremely honest live streams, so he climbed up the quiet stairwell to confront the source of his hideous transformation.
Okay. I'm headed up to the 11th floor where Sean Applewhite's office is. Phew, a little nervous.
Hey, coffee!
Stop right there.
God, sir, I don't think you're supposed to be here.
I don't want to hurt anybody. I just want to talk to Sean.
Then why did you bring a can of gasoline and a...
Because, gosh, I'm spilling gas all over myself. See what you made me?
The self-described Butterfingers would live up to his clumsy reputation as he accidentally lit himself on fire, a blaze that would quickly overtake the building and lead to Sean fleeing the city. Peter Dunn was dead. And while he would be the only casualty of the fire, he was far from the only person to suffer from the unforeseen side effects of Revitalize.
Mr. Applewhite,
I believe you have some explaining to do.
Shit. He seems mad.
Let's return now to our main story. Harry Boys founder Gavin Hollander and his mutated goons had discovered Sean Applewhite's hiding place from his livestream video on his father's ranch. The goons quickly pulled Donny, Sean's driver, out of the car, one of them holding him at gunpoint, while the others aimed their assault rifles at the house. Across the lawn from the heavily armed Harry Boys was Sean, his father Pistol, his sister Bonny, his head of PR Charlotte, and me. We stood behind a makeshift barrier Pistol and Bonny had created out of old tires and scrap metal.
You've deplatformed my organization. We're having to post our videos on PornStop for crying out loud. Sponsors have pulled their funding. I'm getting death threats left and right. And now our faces look like Quasimodo and Dog the Bounty Hunter had a baby.
Oh my god. That's it. That's it! I know what to do.
With that, Sean took off in the other direction, back around the house and into the woods.
Let's get out of here!
Don't worry about him, y'all. He's just running from his responsibilities. It's a family thing.
Charlotte and Microphone Lady, you two run off and tear with Sean back there. We'll hold off the Nightmare Goblins and try to save this driver guy.
Good luck. You're true patriots.
Giddy up already!
Okay, I'm going. I was just trying to let you know that I appreciated what you're doing.
You watch out for those mines back there.
There's mine?
So off we went, following Sean's path of retreat. He wasn't hard to catch up with, as he transitioned into the walking phase of his escape plan after a couple 100 feet.
Oh my god. I am out of shape. I am not doing that half mare. Charlotte, how come you don't have me go to the gym more often?
Do you think I decide your schedule?
I don't know. Can I even trust you? Did you possibly give the Harry Boys my location? I don't know.
What? Sean, you know they found us because you said exactly where you were in your live stream.
Okay, we've all got our theories and can point fingers any direction we want to.
Hey guys, I think we need to run again.
Oh shit, Goblin!
3 of Gavin Hollander's goons had been sent around the house to chase after us. But the effects of Revitalize seemed to have weakened their lungs too. If they weren't chasing us, I probably would have offered them some water.
Okay, let's take another breather.
Those Harry Boys run like they just finished a Whataburger sweet and spicy bacon burger. Huh. I think we lost them.
How can we even be sure those are real Harry Boys? I mean, they don't look like that because of my product.
That's bullshit and you know it.
What? We did test after test showing that Revitalize was the real deal. You don't just shoot t-shirts out of a t-shirt cannon on a daytime talk show without ensuring that the logo on said t-shirts represented some legitimate shit, okay?
Says the guy who's secretly been getting weekly facelifts.
Hey, that's personal.
Okay, I'll save you from having to hear the rest of that. While it's true Sean tested and retested Revitalize, there are some early red flags that Sean and Margaret absolutely ignored. Here's another clip I found on Sean's Cloudbox account.
So, Mom, what are you going to do with your first million?
Sean, have you noticed Randy's behavior lately?
I think I'm going to buy a buttload of scratch-offs. Or maybe take DJ lessons.
After Sean's accidental discovery that the vodka was the missing ingredient in Revitalize, he was feeling pretty cocky. Sean's mother, Margaret, however, was hell-bent on making sure the chemical was foolproof before taking it to market.
Sean, get over here.
God, what now?
It's Randy. Look at him. He's barely moving anymore. He's been making this sound all morning and his hair is growing out of control. He probably can't even see anymore.
Yeah, life's probably pretty crazy for a rat.
So when Randy the rat's hair started growing out of control, this lab recording shows us just how much Sean was willing to stomach to make his dreams come true.
Anyway, your first million? Spend how? Go.
Don't change the subject. This is...
Did Randy just...
I think so. Yeah.
Oh my god. Randy. Poor little guy.
He's dead, Sean. We'll have to tell people.
Tell who what? So Randy's dead. That doesn't mean that... What, you think I'm gonna die now because I used the drug? It's a proven thing now.
It doesn't have FDA approval yet. There's no way we can sell this to people.
It doesn't need their approval to be sold to people. And we have no evidence that shows these same side effects will happen in people. Right? Don't you realize what's gonna happen if we tell people about this? They're gonna pull our funding. The deal's off. No more scratch-off lotto tickets that'll make us even richer. No more DJ classes. No more whatever you were gonna say for your answer. Nothing. We're back to being this sad mom and less sad son duo. Besides, if you told anybody, it'd probably suck for you if people found out we funded our research with money that you frickin' stole. Know what I mean? Mom. Whoa, what are you doing with Randy? Where are you going with him? Mom, come on, let's talk about this. You trashed Randy. So...
You're right. I hate that you're right, but I can't waste any more of my life going backwards. But you have to promise me that we'll sort this out. We can't start a zombie apocalypse or anything. We'll use the money from the first wave of sales to fix this, all right?
DJ Fix It! Now that's a good name!
And with that, the evidence that Revitalized could lead to this hairy goblinification of its users was thrown in the garbage. Except for this recording that Sean probably wouldn't want anyone to hear. Whoops. You were fairly deep into the inner circle in the early Revitalized days. Do you remember exactly when the working relationship between Sean and Margaret started to break apart?
Oh, totally. As the company started to take off, the rift between Sean and Margaret started to grow and grow. I didn't know the specifics exactly, but it all seemed to be related to this thing they would always refer to as Operation DJ Fix It. Did you ever see anything like that?
In fact, I did. As Sean's fill-in assistant, I had access to a whole year's worth of his company emails. Digging through this giant pile, I discovered the exact moment where things went south between mother and son. Margaret had decided to devote a massive amount of her time and company money to a secret project called Operation DJ Fix It. In a series of emails I uncovered, Sean demanded that Margaret stop the program immediately, or else he'd have no choice but to, quote, tell everyone about that thing you did way back when, and ask my lawyers to do to you what Zuckerberg did to Spider-Man in the social network. So instead of fighting her son on this point, Margaret decided to quietly step away from her duties at the company and secretly continue working on Operation DJ Fix It at home.
Just so you guys are aware, Pistol mentioned that we should watch out for...
Whoa! Is somebody doing therapy back there?
No, that was one of your dad's mines, Sean. Get down. They might be close.
I mean, the mine probably took them all out. Woo! Go Dad! Man, this whole trip home has really been good for me. Did I tell you my dad apologized to me for missing most of my childhood because he was called off on a government mission?
Freeze, jackass!
Don't shoot! Oh, God!
Suddenly, two distraught-looking hairy boys rushed up behind us, pointing rifles straight at our faces.
You just killed one of my best friends in the world!
I didn't put the mine there!
Technically true, but the series of events leading up to Jack stepping on that mine were certainly set in motion by you.
Please don't hurt us. We are incredibly sorry for your loss. That is so messed up. If it's any incentive, my boss, Mr. Applewhite here, has a whole lot of money.
Charlotte, come on. That's not really your business to reveal.
Sean, with all due respect, please shut the fuck up.
Okay, you're fired. Look, hairy boys, men, whatever. I'm genuinely sorry that your friend died. That really sucks. I don't know why my dad has his own minefield. Probably to keep out intruders.
We aren't interested in your money!
Yeah, the boss wants you alive so he can humiliate you and fix our faces.
You screwed us, rich boy.
And now, you're gonna unscrew us.
Oh, is this like a routine? The way you guys are speaking back and forth like that? It's really well done.
Your assistant was right. You need to learn to shut up.
Woo-hoo! Looks like rich boy's out cold. Just a couple of handsome guys with a couple of pretty ladies, right?
Hey, assistant girl, you scared of the way we look now?
No, I just think it's sad.
Sad? Well, it's your boss's fault we look this way, you know.
I know that.
Are you telling us that you wouldn't go on a date with a guy who looks like we do?
Leave her alone.
You feminazi bitches probably snicker when you see a guy who's losing his hair, don't you?
Come on, assistant lady. Give me a kiss. Ah!
Jeez, you probably broke his nose.
Oh, that really hurts, man. God, can we just kill her and say it was an accident or something?
No, dude, Gavin wants all 3 of them. He was very specific.
Oh, God, I can't stop thinking about Jack exploding into pieces. You never did look where he was going.
He never got a chance to do the world's longest domino chain.
He was never gonna do that. I mean, the guy had no follow-through.
So there we were, in the middle of Pistol's woods, with guns to our heads, Sean knocked out cold. And while I had little sympathy for these delusional, sexist monsters, yet another man had died in the course of this petty squabble over a hair loss restoration drug. Any one of us could have been next.
Well, we've certainly never had a live stream like this one. Currently in an American standoff with Sean Applewhite's country bumpkin daddy and half-sister. And I do believe they're firing at us from their porch with what appears to be Civil War-era muskets. Now, you don't need to be a history professor to know those are famous for taking a long time to reload.
Oh, damn it to hell. It's all jammed up.
I don't know if we should have gone fishing with these the other day, Pop. Still a little waterlogged.
Probably should have stocked up on more modern weaponry. Oh, damn you, hindsight.
Hello there, Applewhites.
Oh, shit. Hi.
I got your boy's driver here. You see him back there with my guys?
One important thing to note about Gavin: whenever he was invited onto a daily news show to blast his despicable views about women, it was always under the assumption that his bark was bigger than his bite, that at the end of the day, the guy was harmless. A modern-day freak show that could give us a few laughs. Well...
Go ahead, boys. Do that thing we talked about.
At this point, the Hairy Boys livestream showed us something truly unsettling. With their weapons aimed at Donny the driver, another hairy boy stuck a plastic funnel in Donny's mouth, while another brought over a whole case of Revitalize and began pouring can after can into the funnel. After about a minute, Revitalize began to take effect inside Donny's throat, and his insides became a web of sprouting hairs, choking the life out of him.
Oh my God!
What do we think about Sean Applewhite's little product now? Think the FDA's gonna approve that?
On the next episode of Battle of the Bald, Gavin Hollander kidnaps everyone, and the podcast itself.
Battle of the Bald was written and produced by Tyler Eaton, who is me. The whole series was safely recorded during quarantine, mostly in people's closets via Zoom, and in the studio at Pincroft Loft. This episode featured voice acting from Rebecca Usoro, Connor Cacciottolo, Eddie Pepitone, Kyle Kinane, Alex Rogers, Olivia Hill, Shannon D, Dan Black, and Lauren Gilbert. Our thumbnail artwork was done by Ethan Marler. A new episode will be out every Monday between now and February 8th. I'd really appreciate it if you shared the show with your friends, especially the bald ones, and maybe leave us a review to help us bring in more listeners. You know, if you liked it. If you want to find out more about the show, check out tylereaton.net or find us on Instagram at Battle of the Bald. Thanks for listening.